Alright, if you've just joined us, hello for one last time. Welcome along to the Dazzling Darren Magical Math Show. This is episode 3 and it starts right now.
Streaming to you live from a secret lockdown location in West Yorkshire, it's time for maths, magic, and more maths with Dazzling Darren.
Dazzling Darren is your man, and he has a plan to educate your children on Facebook. He will entertain and educate a magician who will just donate some time to help these children who are stuck. With maths and English, you just name it, teaching methods can explain it, along with his skills in wizardry. And don't worry about the price, just a thank you will suffice, cause Dazzling Darren's doing it for free.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for, so please put your virtual hands together and welcome to the screen, Dazzling Darren.
Hello! Hi everybody and welcome along to episode 3 of the Dazzling Darren Magical Math Show. Once again, I just want to say thank you everybody for joining in, for tuning in, for streaming on YouTube and Facebook, for sharing this and liking this. I really appreciate it. We're having lots of fun with this and we are ready for episode 3 coming up on today's show. We're going to do 2 magic tricks. Yes, not one. I'm going to start with 2 magic tricks today. I'm going to show you the first magic trick that I ever saw. Then we got some join-in magic today. It's quite a short join-in magic, but it's something that we'll join in with through the screen. And then you'll be able to fool your family and friends. You'll be able to trick your parents and your grandparents, your aunties, your uncles, your brothers and sisters with something that's really fun. Then we're on to today's Learn Magic. It's a number prediction today. Hopefully you guys should have your PDFs printed out. If you haven't, don't worry, still follow along and you can print them out after. You may have more than one copy because we might do this a couple of times because it's a great way to practice our maths. That's coming up later on in the Learn Magic section. Then we've got our Maths Marvels. Today I'm going to show you a couple of amazing patterns with the 13 times table and the 19 times table. Yeah, I know, tough ones, right? But you are going to have the opportunity to learn your 13 times table and 19 times table in a way that you might not have learnt it before. And then we've got the shout outs as always and the homework. So that's what's coming up on episode 3 of today's show. So let's go to the main screen because the first thing we need to do, just like last week, is we need to announce the winner of last week's competition. All right, let's go up here. Last week's competition, last week's homework was slightly tougher than week 1. Week 2 was going to be harder, and we're going to get a little bit harder as we go along each week as well. So for week 2, the question was, what is, if you had 11 packs of cards, how many cards would you have? All right, so the answer was 572. And if you remember on last week's show, and if you haven't seen it, it's available now, episode 2 is available on YouTube now. If you haven't seen it, we learn a cool way that Egyptians used to do long multiplication, big multiplication things. And I said that you could use that method to try and work out this answer. I mean, you could have just done it on a calculator as well, or you could have used that method. Quite a few people sent the answer and then they also sent me a little picture of their workings out, so thank you very much to that. A big shout out to Aidan, he did that. Thank you very much, Aidan. But I put all the right answers, however they came to them, in a draw, and I drew out a winner, and they will win an amazing Dazzling Darren magic box which will be sent out next week. And that winner was Oliver W. Now, there was more than one Oliver that entered this week, so it's Oliver W. They go to Cheadle School. I won't say any more than that, but I will send you an email and I will grab your address. So well done to Oliver for winning last week's competition. All right, it's time to get on with today's show, and I'm going to begin by showing you the first trick that I ever saw. I want to take you back to when I was 5 years old. I went round to my granddad's house and I said, "Granddad, can you show me some magic?" Now, I was only 5, I didn't know whether he could show me any magic or not. He said, yes, I can show you some magic. Do me a favour, go to the bedroom and grab from your grandma's drawer a headscarf or a handkerchief. And so I did. I grabbed a red silk headscarf. Grandad said, "Darren, do you believe in magic?" Now, I was 5 years old, so I didn't know whether I believed in magic or not, to be honest. I didn't know what was real and what was an illusion. He said, "Look, Darren, I'll try and make you believe in magic." He took the headscarf, he twirled it about in his hand, and in that headscarf, he tied a knot. Hope you can see that there on the screen. He said to me, "Darren, what is that?" Now, I was only 5, but I was pretty smart. I said, "Grandad, that is a knot. He said, look, you're going to have to be a bit more specific because there's lots of different types of knots. There's single knots, double knots, reef knots, wing knots, forget-me-nots. What type of knot is this? I said, Grandad, I've got absolutely no idea. He said, Darren, that is a knot. I said, a what knot? He said, a knot. I said, what's a knot? He said, well, a knot is not a knot. Most knots are not, but a knot is a knot. I said, Grandad, you're confusing me. He said, look, I'll just show you. He took the handkerchief and he said, this is a knot because it's not a knot. And you can take that knot and pull it right off the handkerchief. I said, wow, Grandad, that's amazing. He said, look, I'll show you again. He took the handkerchief and he tied in it another knot. This time I was 5 years old. I reached up, I pulled it down tight to make sure that that knot was really in the handkerchief. He said to me, Darren, what kind of knot is that? Now, I was 5, but I was a quick learner, so I said, it's a knot. He said, Darren, no, it's not a knot. This is, in fact, a slip knot. I said, a slip knot? What's a slip knot? Grandad said, well, it's a slip knot because it will actually slip right off the handkerchief. I said, wow, Grandad, that's amazing. I think I believe in magic. He said, look, I'll show you just one more time. And he did it one last time. He tied a final knot into the handkerchief. This time I was 5 years old. I reached up and I grabbed both sides. I pulled it as tight as I could to make sure that that knot was definitely on there. I said to my Grandad, if you can make that knot come off the handkerchief, then I believe in magic. He didn't say anything this time. He just clicked his fingers and he took that knot and he pulled it right off the handkerchief like so. And that is how I became to believe in magic. Grandad said, Darren, you can believe in magic, but you've got to remember that we can't defy the laws of physics. And when he opened up the handkerchief, he showed me that inside there were 3 knot-sized holes. Thank you very much. I hope you like that, and today I'm going to show you 2 magic tricks. You see, I've shown you the first trick that I ever saw, and now I want to show you the first trick that I ever did. All right, I want to take you back, all right? I was around about 10. It was a birthday party. I was 10 years old. I'd made myself a magic box. And for my first ever performance, the trick that I decided to do was a trick that required 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playing cards, all right? You can count along with me. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playing cards. And the trick I decided to do that day was the trick where I took one of those playing cards and placed it into the magic box. Yet still, incredibly, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playing cards. The audience that day were so amazed that they cried the word amazing. That's the point, by the way, where you have to cry amazing. It's all right, you didn't know it was coming. Look, I'll do it again. In fact, I'm going to make it a little bit more impressive. We're on episode 3 now. Let's up the stakes. I was actually not 10 years old. I was actually only 6 years old. Have a look at that. I was 6 years old. It was my granddad's birthday party, and I decided to do the trick with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playing cards, all right? This time, I decided to take away not 1, but 2 of those 5 playing cards. How many should that leave? 3, right? But instead there was still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The audience that day were so impressed they cried the word amazing. All right, I can still see that some of you out there didn't say it. Let's do it one last time. I was actually only 3 years old. It's my granddad's birthday party, very first trick, very first show, and I decided to do the trick with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playing cards. And that day I removed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 playing cards. Not quite sure how that worked. Yet still, unbelievably, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playing cards, and everybody cried, amazing, that's right, thank you so much. Now, it was my very first show. I was very young. I've probably misremembered a few things, all right? Maybe there wasn't a party. Maybe it wasn't my granddad's birthday. Maybe, in fact, definitely, there weren't even any cards. Thank you so much. All right, the first trick I ever saw and the first trick I ever did, and that will take us now to today's join magic. All right, I'm going to come and sit back down. Hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you very much for all the rounds of applause in the comments. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for all the amazings and the claps. That's very good. It's now our turn to do some join in magic. All right, now today's join in magic is very simple. All right, I am going to set you all a challenge. So everybody who is watching today, all you got to do is this. It's a very simple challenge. You got to say it out loud. See if you can do it. Are you ready? Now, all you got to do is count from 10 to 1 backwards. All right, are you ready? After 3, I want you to count from 10 to 1 backwards. 1, 2, 3, go. Did you do it? Now, there was a little secret. You can trick people in this. You can bet them, you can test them, you can do whatever you like. But to count from 10 to 1 backwards, you should say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I bet you guys all said 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So give this a try. When next time you have a virtual chat with your granddad or your brothers or sisters, say to them, I bet you can't count from 10 to 1 backwards. And if they say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then that's not right, because counting from 10 to 1 backwards is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This week, it's just a little quick trick. I probably fooled you, and you can now know the secret, and you can fool your family and friends with today's join in magic. And remember, you got to ask them to count from 10 to 1 backwards, all right? If you ask them to count from 1 to 10 backwards, and then they say 10 to 1, then that is right. You need to ask them to count from 10 to 1 backwards, and that is how this works. All right, we're now ready for today's Learn Magic. I am just changing my camera over so we can come over the shoulder for this, and you can see over the shoulder, because we are going to do today's Learn Magic. So grab your PDFs. If you have got your PDFs ready, grab them. We will need them. We are going to do today's Learn Magic. All right. And remember, this show is filmed by just me. I'm at home doing it on my computer, fiddling about with different sound desks and stuff like that, changing cameras about, all right? It's not a high production show. It's just something that I am putting on so you guys can all enjoy it at home or in school settings. And so obviously when there's a little gap like that, it's just me changing the camera around so that we can have this split screen, so that you should be able to see both the PDF and me. All right, so today's Learn Magic, we are going to do a number prediction. All right, I want you all to join in with this for the first time, and then we will teach it and we will learn it together. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to think of any 3-digit number, so that's over 100, from 100 to 199, 100 to 999, but all of the digits have got to be different, all right? So you could have 102, or you could have 987, all right? Anywhere in between, you've got to think of a 3-digit number where all of the digits are different, all right? If you've got the PDF, you can pop that number in the first section over here, all right? In the first section over here. So here's what we're going to do. If somebody who is watching sends me any 3-digit number, we will work with that one, all right? So think of any 3-digit number where all the digits are different and send it into the Facebook. The first one that's in, we will work with this one. But you can work with your own, all right? You can work with your own for this amazing maths magic trick, all right? So if you've got your own number, pop that number in the first section there, all right? Put those 3 digits there and just wait as we go along. We will do this together, and we will use a number that comes in. Let's have a look, see if anyone's popped a number in. Perfect, 716, thank you very much, that's very good. All right, here we go, 716. Right, now, I want you to reverse those digits, all right? So in our case, we will reverse the digits, so we will have 617. If you chose the number 589, you would reverse the digits and you would have 985, all right? Now, take the biggest number from the smallest number, and this is a great example here, right? So in this instance, my first number was bigger than my second number, so I am going to put 716, and I'm going to take it away from 617, all right? That will give me an answer. This is a good example, actually. This will give me an answer of 99, 099, 99. All right, now once you've got that answer, I want you to reverse the digits of that answer down here. So you've got 099, reverse the digits, 990, and then add that up, all right? So if you are following along, you should have a 3-digit number that you have reversed, and then once you've reversed it, you've taken the big from the small one, then reverse that again, and down here you should have an answer. So in the red box there, put your answer. I'll give you a few seconds to do that because I know a lot of people are following along with this with their PDFs. You might need a calculator, by the way. Grab yourselves a calculator. Thanks for all the different numbers that got put in there, by the way. A special mention to Danielle Catherine Blondon. I asked for a 3-digit number where all the digits were the same. She's given me a 4-digit number, and 2 of those numbers are the same, 2254. So thank you very much, Danielle Catherine Blondon, for that. That's very good. It's a 3-digit number that we need, though, and you will all have your own 3-digit numbers. If you want, use a calculator to get to your answer. Right, you should all have an answer, all right? I'm going to predict your answer. I think your answer is 1089. I think it's 1089. Give us a clap or a like or a love in the Facebook comments or the YouTube comments if it worked for you. It's 1089, 1089. Oh, brilliant. Good. It's working for some people. That is fantastic. All right, now let's go through this. And by the way, I didn't do my answer because I'll tell you the secret. All right, are you ready for the secret? The answer is always 1089. All right, and this is how this works. All right, we call this the 1089 secret, the number prediction. If you do this, whatever number you choose at the start, as long as the digits are all different, it will always come out to be 1089. And if you look at it, you can see mine. We've got 990 plus 99, and if we work that one out, that one is 1089 as well. All right, let's try it with a different number. Oh, great, look at that. Good, thanks for all the claps and stuff, that's brilliant. All right, let's give this a try together. Let's use a random number. Let's use the number 357. All right, whatever number you use, it will always come out to be 1089. So if you've printed yourself more than one PDF off, grab yourselves another sheet, and we will do it with the different number, all right? So we're going to reverse the digits of 357. That will give us 753. Now this instance, the bottom number is bigger than the top number, so we'll swap them over. We will do 753 minus 357. Now you can do that in your head if you want. You can also do it on a calculator. It doesn't matter as long as you get to the answer. We'll do this one on the calculator, but I think, yeah, it's 396. And then you take 396 there, you reverse it again for 693, and then when you add 396 plus 693, I'm just showing you on the calculator, so we're all doing it together, the answer will always be 1089. So that's it, that's the 1089 force, that's the number prediction. So I gave you some worksheets that you can work through. If you want to show this to people, you don't have to use the worksheet, you can just ask them to think of any number and they can follow along on their calculator if they want. A couple of things that I should explain here, a couple of times when it might go wrong. Let me go back to the example that Carl gave us. He gave us 716. And that's a great example because if you have a number like 716 and you reverse it to 617, the answer when you minus them is less than 100, all right? The answer is actually only 99, all right? So to make that work, you've got to add that extra 0. So sometimes you might get an answer that is less than 100. Add that 0, all right, for 99, and then reverse it. So you get 99 plus 990. That gives you 1089. All right, and the other thing, just to aware of, if they pick a number, then all the digits need to be different. For example, if they was to pick a number like 717, they would have to pick a different number because it doesn't work, because you have 717, and when you reverse it, you have 717 minus 717, and so you've got 717 minus 717, which obviously we know the answer is none. All right, so they have to be different digits. They're the two things that you might fall down on. If not, you've got yourself an amazing trick there that you can show your friends, and that is called the number prediction. All right, just to let you know, if you are watching this and you haven't got the PDF, if you haven't downloaded the PDF, it's available on my website. Just go to www.dazzlingdarren.co.uk/maths, and when you go on there, you will find yourself the PDFs for this week, and also the PDFs for week 1 and 2, because those episodes are available on YouTube now. All right, let's try today's Maths Marvels then, all right? We are on to today's Maths Marvels, and we are going to do a couple of interesting patterns for your 13 times table and your 19 times table, all right? So let me grab my... we'll do the 19 times table sheet first, all right? Let's go to the split screen. Now, we're going to do the 19 times table. Now, it's not a times table that you perhaps learn at school. It's also a 19 times table. It's a big one. It's difficult to learn, all right? I am going to show you a really simple pattern, which is an easy way of learning it and remembering it, all right? And this is so cool. It's really fun. And I've got one for the 13 times table as well. If you watched episode 1, you remember that we did the 9 times table on our hands by putting the one finger down and counting left and right. This is a cool pattern that you can do for 19 times table, all right? To do your 19 times table, you've got to remember your odd numbers, all right? So if we all know our odd numbers, all you got to do is write the first 10 odd numbers going down here, all right? So we're going to start with 1, and then we're going to miss the even numbers, so no 2, and then we're going to do 3, we're going to miss 4, we're going to do 5, miss 6, and so on. So we're going to do 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. Now that's not the answer yet, but we're getting close to it now, all right? To get the answers, all you have to do then is count from 1 to 10, actually from 0 to 9, all right? And if you can do that, you will get yourselves the answers. So you write the odd numbers all going down, and then you write every number from 0 to 9, but going up. So watch this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And believe it or not, that is every correct answer to your 19 times table. How cool is that? Right? You don't even have to learn your 19 times table. You can just do that simple pattern, and that is how you learn your 19 times table. Let's check the working out. Have a look at this. Let's do 7. Let's just check it that we're right. 7 times 19 equals 133. Perfect. 9 times, let's do 3 times 19, 57. Good. One of the times that you might need your 19 times table is when you're playing darts, all right? You got to do double 19 and triple 19, all right? So that's your 19 times table, and a really cool way of, a cool pattern for that. Let's try a 13 times table one, all right? Now this is a different pattern, but this is really cool as well, all right? You need a grid that's like you're about to play noughts and crosses, all right? I've got one over here. Here's one I prepared earlier. A 13 times table, you need a grid like this, all right? Now, I'm going to use my super cool pink Sharpie just to write in the top corner the numbers 1 to 9, all right? So this, I like this, by the way, this is how to do your 13 times table using a noughts and crosses grid. And these are the answers. So in this box, we will eventually get to the answer of 1 times 13. Not very difficult. But down here, we will get to the answer 9 times 13. All right, and to do this one, slightly different, but still super simple, we're going to start here in the top left box, and we're going to write the number 1. In the next box, we're going to write the number 2. And then in the next box, we're going to write the number 3. Then we're going to come down here, we're going to skip 4 and do 5, 6, and 7. And then down here, we're going to skip 8 and we're going to do 9, 10, and 11. All right, so in your boxes, you write 1, 2, 3, then you skip 4, you do 5, 6, 7, you skip 8, and you do 9, 10, 11. All right, and then to complete the 13 times table, all you got to do is write the numbers 1 to 9, but this time we go from the bottom and the left and we work up. All right, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then over here, 4, 5, 6, and then over here, 7, 8, 9. And that now gives us the answer to our 13 times table in a different pattern, all right? So you have 8 times 13, that's 104. 6 times 13, that's 78. And we'll do 9 times 13, just to show you on the calculator, equals 117. So that's it. That's your 13 times table to go with your 19 times table that we learned earlier. Now, in the Maths Marvels section, last week I did the Egyptian maths, and next week I'm going to do a Japanese method. Some of these are quite tough. I'm not suggesting that you would work along with them all. These are just things that you can watch, learn how people did things when they didn't have calculators, ways that they learned things and thought about things when you couldn't just grab a phone or your calculator and pop the answers in, all right? Because somebody said last week's Maths Marvel was really hard, and it was. We were times in 2 big numbers together, but it was amazing to see lots of you sending me pictures of you having a go at it yourselves when you did the answer to the homework. So that was amazing. That was absolutely brilliant, and well done for that. This slightly easier this week. Hopefully you can all have a go at that and you'll be able to learn your 13 and 19 times tables. All right, we just got 3 minutes left in the show, which should just give us time for the shout-outs and today's homework. Let's go to the shout-outs page then. Got quite a lot of shout-outs this week, so I want to get through all of these to say thank you to everybody. First shout-out, 3 people, Niall and Charlotte Robinson, and also Chloe Booth. I know all 3 of those have watched the first 2 episodes. I've heard that they are watching today, so thank you so much for that. And thanks to Gladys for sending in that shout out as well. A big shout out to all 3 of you. Thank you for watching the Dazzling Darren Magical Math Show. Also, we got a shout out to Aidan. I think I mentioned Aidan before, Aidan Brearley. He's watching with his granddad David. I know David is a keen magician. So hello to David and to Aidan as well. Aidan was one of the people who sent in his workings out from last week's show. Thank you so much for that, Aidan. I really appreciate you taking the time to send me your photograph. Please have a go at this week's homework, which is coming up soon. I want to say hello to Chloe, Will and Josh. They're my great friends who always support me in everything that I do. I know they are watching today, so hello to Chloe, to Will and to Josh. And finally, a couple of school shout outs this week to the kids at Cheadle Primary. Hello, how you doing? I know you guys have been watching this, and a big hello to everybody at Hightown Junior and Infant School and Nursery School as well. That's a school that I work at, usually in real life every year. We do an amazing thing called Party in the Park. I love everybody up at Hightown, all the teachers and the head teacher, they're all fantastic. Sadly, we couldn't do it this year, but hopefully we'll be able to be back doing parties in the park very, very soon for all of the children at Hightown School. And that's this week's shout out. We've only got 1 more episode left before half term next week, so if you want a shout out, let me know. You can email me, Darren at dazzlingdarren.co.uk, or you can send me a message on Facebook. I will get that and I will try and give you a shout out next week. All right, so that just leaves time for the homework before we finish then. So the homework this week is based on something that we just learned in the Maths Marvels. It's just a simple sum. Can you send me the answer? You can put your comments below on Facebook, or you can message me privately on my Facebook group, or Facebook page, or you can send me a quick email with your answer. You'll be entered in the draw, which takes place on Sunday, and I will announce the winner next week. And so, very simple, what is 19 times 9? Why not have a little go, write these down. I've got another one here where I've taken the answers off. Have a go at this, write them down, and then put the odd numbers going down, and then the numbers 0 to 9 going up, just like we learned in today's Maths Marvel. It will give you the answer to 19 times 9. Send it in. Of course, you could just do it on a calculator. Of course, you could just rewind this about 3 minutes and find me doing it. However you want to do it, it doesn't matter. That is today's maths homework, and somebody will win a Dazzling Darren magic set on next week's show. All right, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. That was episode 3. If you did enjoy it, please do share it into different groups, WhatsApp groups, things like that, parents groups, PTA groups, everything like that. We would love to get this out to as many people as possible, but mainly subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, like my Facebook page, and thank you so much for watching the Dazzling Darren Magical Math Show. I will see you next week, Friday the 12th of February for episode 4. It's the last episode before half term. See you soon.
Streaming to you live from a secret lockdown location in West Yorkshire, it's time for maths, magic, and more maths with Dazzling Darren.
Dazzling Darren is your man, and he has a plan to educate your children on Facebook. He will entertain and educate a magician who will just donate some time to help these children who are stuck. With maths and English, you just name it, teaching methods can explain it, along with his skills in wizardry. And don't worry about the price, just a thank you will suffice, cause Dazzling Darren's doing it for free.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for, so please put your virtual hands together and welcome to the screen, Dazzling Darren.